Listen to your intuitive nudges. I talk about this all the time. Oh, again, I'm recording and I'm like, is my microphone on? I talk about this all the time. Listen to your intuitive nudges. A lot of people have intuitive nudges to stay in a place when they're traveling, when they're in the woods, when they're by a beach, and they don't listen and they stay for a few minutes, but they get up and they leave, they go on their way. Listen to those nudges. It doesn't matter if you're meant to stay somewhere. It doesn't matter if one of the things that my guides talk about often is the intuitive nudges to do work with, whether that's me or another teacher. Listen to the intuitive nudges, because time after time people say that, and actually to kind of paraphrase one of my clients who took one of my programs, she said, the only thing I regret was not doing it sooner. Listen to your intuitive nudges when you're nudged to do something. Now, why do I say this in terms of the ocean? Because when I was in the ocean, doing that trip along the East Coast, traveling up and down, staying on the beaches every day, greeting light, I would get intuitive nudges to walk this way, walk that way, you'll find something. I found an octopus shell because I listened to an intuitive nudge. I didn't know octopuses had shells. There is a type of octopus called a paper nautilus. It's not a nautilus, it is an octopus. Um, and it creates a shell for its eggs. And I found one perfectly intact on shore that should have been decimated because of how delicate it was, because my guides guided me to it. I followed that nudge. When I'd be in the water, I would sit and they'd be like, look this way, look that way, stay for a few minutes. I'd want to leave, stay for a few minutes. I'd see a manatee. I'd have a crab that would walk up to me. There are so many times that they would say, somebody is coming. And I'd go, who is coming? They're like, we're not going to tell you, you have to stay. And within moments, a crab would walk up to me, a puffer fish would swim in. The manatees came one time when they told me that. A bunch of manatees came in and listened to me telepathically. They were swimming along this like rope line that marked kind of the depth. And these group of kayaks were swimming with them. And I reached out telepathically and said, will you come in the shore? And they went, yeah, we'll come to shore. We'll come to you. And they swam into shore. They turned, swam into shore, and then swam along the shoreline. And all because I stayed from an intuitive nudge, listened, and then started talking to them. There were times that I wanted to leave because it was going to rain, or I was too cold and I just wanted to go, or I was tired from, I mean, those days I was walking 12 miles a day minimum, gritting light through cities, on beaches, all this stuff. And my guys would be like, no, stay for a little bit. And I'd go on, they're like, they're coming to you. They're coming to you. Massive pods of dolphins, 50 plus dolphins come in on different periods of time. And then being able to talk to them and experience them. All these different things, all because I listened to those nudges. Going into, the where else did I go? Pulling off the side of the road and walking into a bay, seeing a horseshoe crab, and then experiencing a mer person. Uh, Not a mermaid. I often call her a mermaid because of the word we just use, but she is clear she was a mer person. Seeing her one time was an intuitive nudge to walk into the bay, follow the path, see the horseshoe crab, come back in, and boom, there she was. Listening to intuitive nudges when I did that. Listening to intuitive nudges is what allowed me to experience how in one moment the weather was coming in and it was raining fiercely, thunder, lightning, rain coming in on both sides. And they're like, no, don't, you're gritting light, you'll be fine, just stay. And I'm like, should I stay? I don't know if I want to stay. And I stayed. The whole beach cleared out. Two women, maybe three, I think it was two. There were two women. One was a photographer. Yeah, it was a photographer, and one was pregnant, and they were filming her on the beach. They came back up, and they were there, but I was gritting light. And I was greeting light for, I realized, to protect them as they were doing their filming work for this woman and whatever child she was bringing in. But as the storm clouds came in, there was a perfect path where I was greeting light. There was never a cloud, and it was all going around us. It was all going around us, not affecting us at all because we were pulling light through, or I was pulling light through, and they were doing their thing. Maybe they were greeting light too. And I stayed, and then enormous pods of dolphins came running through that they even got to see. They looked up and saw. There was another time where I went on that trip, and I was like, it was the end of the trip. My guide said, "You're done greeting light. You're North Carolina." Was I in North Carolina? I think I was in North Carolina, Outer Banks area anyway. I might have been a little north. No, yeah, I was North Carolina. And sitting on the beach, it's freezing cold. It's April, it's freezing cold. And I go, "I want to go back. I want to leave." And they go, "No, no, no, stay. Just stay." There were kids on the beach. I was pulling, some light in. The kids were there. I knew I needed to be there for them for some reason. And I see a flash of light in the distance. And I'm talking miles and miles out. And at one point I had thought, what would be really cool would be to see a whale. I've seen the dolphins. I've seen this other stuff. I've never seen a whale in real life. I went whale watching one time, got skunked. I was in an energetic space. I was with my ex at the time, and I feel that kept me away from experiencing the whales. And then finally, I'm on the beaches, but you can't see them because they're not supposed to come into shore, right? Whales don't come into shore. It's dangerous for them to come into shore. It's not good for them. So I go, "That'd be cool to see a whale, but no, I don't want that because I don't want them risking getting stuck or beached or anything." And my guys are just like, "Just stay. Something's coming." And I was waiting for dolphins, some beautiful dolphins to come. And I see this flash of light, and it appears every once in a while. And I'm thinking a ship is bobbing up and down in the distance. It gets closer and closer. It was a whale. A whale swam in from the boat from outside, swam directly to shore, swam a little bit farther down, got right in front of me. As it was swimming down, once it got to shore, it started smacking its tail, which is a form of communication. And I was talking to it telepathically, and then it stops right in front of me. And directly, I'm perpendicular to the space. The kids were down there. I had gone over and been like, "Hey, there's a whale coming in. Go watch it." And then I went back to my space. It comes down, gets right perpendicular to me, and sits there for like 5-10 minutes, jumping in and out of the water, smacking its tail, saying hello, and then swims straight out. Doesn't swim at an angle, doesn't swim back, swims straight out to sea. A whale. All because I listened to my intuitive nudges and I started communicating with the ocean. It's important when you're going to a new place. It's important when you're going to a new place, whether it's the ocean, the forest, the desert, that you listen to your intuitive nudges and you talk to the spaces, because you'll experience things you never thought you could experience before. You can call nature to you. You can do work and be given magical experiences to, as like kind of a thank you. The animals come in. Elk came to me the other day, or not the other day. They've been coming to me for like 2-3 weeks. Just enormous amounts of elk in the randomest places. You know, um, nature listens to us. Our guides talk to those beings too. Extraterrestrial guides, faeries, inner earth beings, angels can talk to those beings. Animals are extremely conscious. So it's not that the whale came in because I asked, it's because I did my work, my spirit work, and my guides went, "Hey, there's a whale in the area," and reached out and said, "Hey, come talk to him." And it was probably, honestly, my whale pod I'm connected to that's in Maine probably felt me doing this work and sent a call through the ocean, and then a whale that was close went, "Whoa, yeah, I'll go over there and say hi." And it was a male whale that came in and talked to me, and it was a beautiful experience, all because I listened to that intuitive nudge. So the oceans are magical, everything's magical, but we also have to listen to what's going on in our head to experience it. Thank you all. Grateful for each and every one of you.